Warning. Toxicity. How to recognize passive aggression. You look great today. I didn't expect you to look like that. Have you ever heard such a phrase in your own address? Well, know that this is passive aggression in all its glory. When you seem to be praised, but there is a residue. Passive-aggressive behavior is a way to express anger and resentment, but avoid direct conflict and clarification of relations. This is how people mask their negative feelings. But they don't get rid of it, only making things worse for themselves and anyone else who encounters this passive aggression. Passive aggression manifests itself in barbs, sarcasm, innuendo, manipulation through pity and guilt, punishment by silence, ignoring, being late for meetings, sabotaging common plans. Some of these points may seem obvious. But passive aggression has many sides. Even in the simple phrase, "Okay, I see," can hide that very aggression. That's probably why we get so tense when people write us such phrases without emoticons' slightly smiling face. All manifestations of passive aggression have the same roots. It is fear of direct conflict and an attempt to avoid it, as well as powerlessness and helplessness. The aggressor may think, "I am angry with you, but I don't want to or can't hurt you. Thank me, because I'm keeping you safe." But remember, this behavior is no less damaging than overt aggression. It is often even more toxic. Open conflict usually ends with a quick emotional release. Passive aggression poisons emotions for a long time. The causes of passive aggression are often rooted in attitudes from childhood. Many of us have been told that it is bad to feel and show our anger. The child's psyche learns to hide negative feelings in order to avoid punishment and rejection. It is even worse if a child is called bad for showing aggression. In adulthood, this manifests itself in the fact that a person very often behaves passive-aggressively. But this is what destroys his relationships with people. After all, no one wants to be with someone after communicating with whom at least you feel irritation. The aggressor himself suffers from his aggression. And it is not just about loneliness. Imagine a person is afraid to speak out, keeps his worries inside, lives in tension. As a result, he begins to feel offended, unloved, misunderstood. It is not easy to tell the world about your feelings through passive-aggressive form. It exhausts and destroys the person. How to change this behavior? First, you need to identify it. Notice for yourself every time you or someone else behaves passive-aggressively. Give the passive aggressor feedback. In a calm environment, tell him or her that you are hurt by this form of communication. Second, give yourself or your loved one time to change. Communication styles take years to develop. It cannot be changed in a second. Third, realize that it is okay to be angry. Hurting your loved one with your anger is not normal. But you don't stop being a good person if you feel angry. Fourth, learn to be assertive rather than aggressive. Try to make your opinion as clear as possible. Explain how someone else's behavior affects you. Appeal to the facts, try not to generalize, and do not push emotions. Fifth, be prepared that direct expression of your emotions may cause misunderstanding and confrontation on the part of others. For a dialogue to be constructive, both sides must be ready to talk constructively. Lastly, dealing with passive-aggressive behavior does not mean pushing your negative feelings even deeper. On the contrary, you need to look at them directly and acknowledge them. At first, it may seem that you have too many of these feelings. But this feeling is completely normal, and it's not forever. And remember, A psychologist can help you find contact with your feelings, learn to accept and live with anger, and express your emotions directly.